A nigga like me, man, I love the game. I love the hustle, man. I be feeling like one of them ball-playing niggas, you know? Like Bird or Magic or something. Yeah, you know, a nigga got dough. A nigga could leave the league. But if I leave, the fans still gonna love me, man? I get love out here in Harlem, man. I done sold coke on these streets, man. Hash, weed, heroin. As long as niggas is feeling it, a nigga like me can hustle it. That's my gift in life, eh? You know? What? The fuck you laughing at, B?
You, man. Funny, man. You a hustling motherfucker, man. For real, baby. You fucking killing me, man.
Well, you know me, baby.
Check this out. I wanted to bring this to the equation. We haven't really thought of this, and I ain't gonna say we haven't thought about it, but as I sit and listen to certain individuals and certain things that they say, I feel as though it's only right that I point this out. There was a documentary shot a few years ago called Frustrated, and it brought out about a lot of black men, how they're going to Brazil because they can't find, you know, quality sisters or whatever in America, right? So as I sat and I watched it, there was this one female in particular that was in there, and you know, she was heavy set. You know, she was heavy set female, and she's sitting there complaining about black men and how she can't find a man. And I'm sitting there like, duh, you can't find a man because, you know, you probably big. And then even the other woman that was in there, she was just plain Jane. And I'll never forget some years ago when what's his face, Tariq Nasheed was talking about the ABC special that Steve Harvey did, and he was on there, and they were just talking about black women and how they can't find a man. You know, and Steve and Tariq, to his credit, came up with something that a lot of people just was like, man, I'm so glad you said that. And Tariq was like, look, maybe you're just not all that. Maybe you're just lame, or maybe you look good but not good enough, or you're in a city where it's more competitive, whereas if you lived in another city, it wouldn't be as competitive because you wouldn't have as much competition, right? So why am I saying this? Because I agree with Tariq. I think that the sisters, need to up their game if they're going to sit here and complain about brothers going overseas or going to different areas looking for women. Then you need to bring the best quality A game that you have. But some of the brothers that are bitching and saying the same thing about women need to do the same. And what do I mean? Because see, we as guys, we want to have it both ways. We really do. Like women, we all know women want to have it both ways in a lot of areas. They do. But I'm going to call both out. Yes, I can call out the women for doing what they do. And you'll be 1,000% correct. Sisters are, they want you to be a strong black man, but then they want you to let them lead at certain times. I agree in certain instances, in certain relationships, that's there. But brothers think that they're entitled to, the most beautiful black women, on earth, because they have an education, which is, to me right now, is basic. Everybody has degrees. There's so many people with degrees nowadays. It's not a big deal to find somebody with a black man with a degree. I mean, I know that is not the norm that we've been painted. And percentage wise, you may be in the top 20%, but 1 in 5, newsflash, really isn't that rare when you say 1 in 5 black men have degrees. Not a big deal. You know, if you say 20% of black people are light skinned, not a big deal. Nobody gives a damn. You know, it's not like a light skinned person's gonna get some sort of, you know, credit for being exotic. There are tons of light skinned people out there. We don't even give it thought when we see a black person in those regards. Now, there are some people that have fetishes, but that's a different scenario. But you're not rare because you have light skin, and conversely, you're not rare because you have an education. As I listen to some brothers, I feel as though not just the education, but I feel as though they feel like they deserve, they're so, well, it's not that they deserve, they feel like they're so above any black woman that they can't even have a conversation with a black woman because he's so intelligent and she's so stupid. She doesn't have the intellect that he has, or, you know, these women are just beneath me. And I'm gonna tell you something. That shit comes out when you talk. Women hear that. And when they hear you talk like that, I'm sorry, they don't get wet. They don't want to have sex with you. I know that's a news for. I know that we've been told that intelligence makes a woman attracted to you, which it does. But it's the only way that's going to happen is if it's mixed with a level of humility. And a lot of these brothers are, quite frankly, a-holes. When you listen to them talk, they're very arrogant. They're very condescending to guys, to men. I mean, I know brothers that if you talk to them, you can pick up on the arrogance. I mean, I ignore it because I really don't give a damn, because it really doesn't make me a hill of beans. Because I've learned a long time ago, as long as I'm not dumb, as long as I'm not stupid, it really doesn't make a difference how intelligent you are, because most of these brothers that are bragging about how intelligent they are on the internet don't have two fucking nickels to rub together. They work for some white company. They've never made over 6 figures in 12 months. And if they have, it was either at a company, but they've never used their own brain power to go out and master the universe and make a lot of money and do. And if they do, see, I've been around wealthy people. I've been around wealthy black people. Hard to deal with wealthy black people. I've met wealthy white people. They used to having money. Wealthy black people aren't. So the first thing they do a lot of times is they show off. They talk down to you. They talk as though you're not on their level, and they're this and they're that, and I'm so, you know, I'm so successful. And they, first thing you're gonna know when a black man makes some money, he's gonna let you know every few sentences. That's just how it is. And black women as well. So, but the thing is, you can't really get too upset with a person that's really went out and become a millionaire, because especially if they came from the hood, they're gonna be a little cocky. When I get around professional athletes or entertainers, they're gonna be a little arrogant. I expect that. I expect arrogance from Kobe Bryant, LeBron James. I expect it a little bit. And I see it when I watch him on a basketball court. He's very arrogant. He is. But he has something to be arrogant about. When you're intelligent, I can't see that. I can't see how intelligent you are. When you're intelligent, there's a dilemma. See, because I'm going to explain something, brothers. If you're intelligent, what you're going to do is, in order to obtain that intelligence, a lot of times through school and through your 20s and teens, you got your nose in a book most of the time. Yeah, I don't care how high of a cognitive gift you have. You can have an IQ of 160. You still need to brush that gift up and use it to sharpen it. You need to, you can become more intelligent. I don't care how you can have an IQ of 160. The more you read, the smarter you will be. So, yeah, I know brothers that are very intelligent, but if they don't read, they don't know certain things. You can not know something. So, yeah, you're gifted intellectually, but you've let that go into your head so much so that you feel like I'm gifted, and so I'm on a higher moral ground. I don't have to work for a woman. She should value me because we're fucked up as black people, and she should see me, see my intelligence, and see that I'm better than the guy across the streets with the pants hanging off his ass. You see what I'm saying? That's what you're saying. That's what, when you brag about your intelligence, when you think that your intelligence makes you better than the next person, it doesn't. I know that's hard to believe, but it doesn't. I'm going to tell you why. Intelligence a lot of times has to do with cognitive ability. That's a gift. That's something you can be born with. You could be a ghetto hood brother and have an IQ in over 145, 150. Just as intelligent as a brother with the degree from Morehouse or the brother with the degree from Harvard. You could be just as intelligent. But instead of applying his cognitive abilities in learning physics and how to program a computer or math or engineering and things like that, this brother applied his cognitive abilities in getting women. Or he applied his cognitive abilities in understanding the ebb and flow of how people operate within African American society. And thus, this brother will be able to navigate a club much easier than the nerd, the brother who had his face planted in books. Jason Black did a video on this a couple years ago, where he was talking about, how, they have to admit thugs are a lot better at these things. But we can't make an assumption that we're somehow more moral or we're better than the next guy because he sells drugs. Yeah, and look, and when I say more moral, what I'm saying is this. It's immoral to sell drugs. We all know that. But what I'm saying is, in society doesn't owe you something because you went to college, got a degree, and have a job. Women aren't going to just fall over you and give you some head just because you got your degree. You're going to have to actually have something to say to that woman that's going to captivate her interest. You're going to have something to say to that woman that is, instead of insulting her for liking some reality show, which I agree, it's probably the worst thing for black people. It ruins us as a people because it really paints us in a negative light. So I agree. Love and Hip Hop, Real Basketball, but Basketball Wives, Real Housewives of Atlanta, those shows are terrible for black people. But like it or not, a lot of sisters who have upwardly mobile jobs and degrees, they watch these shows. They keep these shows, they watch them, they talk about them. That's what they do. They like them. I don't. But at the same time, that doesn't mean that you're more intelligent than this sister. I know we think that. But see, when you really understand intelligence, because we've been taught and trained to think of intelligence one way. And it's the way we learn through academics, which is you're either literary or you're mathematical. You have those types of genius. There are tons of geniuses. Tons. All you have to do is go to a Google search engine and type up the types of genius. And you will be surprised at how many. I think last I checked it was 8. Is last I checked. So I mean, or 10. So we don't know. They got logical, linguistic, spatial, musical, body kinesthetic, social, which is the ability to interact with other people, emotional intelligence, intuitional intelligence. What is that? Perspectival intelligence, stationary intelligence. So we have so many different types of intelligence. We as black men, a lot of times we'll take the fact that we got a job and I'm the guy that she should want. Maybe at the end of the day, what she probably wants is a guy that can hold her attention. And how can you? Well, you say, the only guy that's going to hold her attention is a guy that focuses on frivolous things. Well, it could be that is the case, or it could be that you could be intelligent. You could have your engineering degree, you can have your job, you can make your 80, 90, 100, whatever you make. But at the same time, you can talk about this shit. You can get into those types of subjects with her. You can be well-rounded. You get what I'm saying? We need to be well-rounded as men. You can't just always think that every guy, every woman is somehow, less than because she thinks you're lame. Maybe you're lame. Maybe you really are lame. Maybe, for you to say that you can't get a woman, a lot of times you have to, and you refuse to do any sort of self-examination. By definition, is really a lack of emotional intelligence. By definition, when you can't look at yourself and you have rose-colored glasses on, and you look at yourself and you think, there's nothing wrong with me. It's their fault. No, maybe, if everybody's telling you, hey man, you got some You got some ketchup on your teeth, or you got ketchup on your lip. And you say, no, I don't. No, I don't. Maybe you need to stop, go in the mirror and look and see if you got ketchup on your lip. When it comes to women, I honestly believe that the brothers that you hear on the internet, for the most part, that are bitching about black women, 90% of the time when you hear a brother on the internet bitching about a black woman, 90% of the time his ego will kick in and he'll say he gets women. He'll say he succeeds. He'll turn around and say, well, good women, the quote unquote good women, the intelligent quote unquote intelligent women, air quotes, only are attracted to thugs. They're not attracted to guys like me. So what they're saying is they can't sleep with the women that they really want to sleep with. And so by default, what that means is you're lame. You are lame. Because, and I'm gonna say something. When I say the word lame, don't get in your feelings. You can fix that. What do I mean by lame? Because everyone thinks that when you say the word lame, that it somehow means that you're this, if you saw, what's the name of that movie? Higher Learning. If you saw Higher Learning, you know off the top, Higher Learning is the type of movie where the guy that wound up doing the shooting at the end, he was going to parties, he was trying to fit in, he was socially awkward. Every time he tried to say something, people looked at him like a fool. That's not what I'm calling you. I'm not calling you that type of lame. I'm not saying it. When I say lame, I'm saying that according to societal standards, you don't fit the mold of a cool person. That can be fixed. That can be alleviated in a myriad of ways. I know that is taboo to say. They say when you're lame, you're always lame. I beg to differ. When you become comfortable in your skin and with who you are as a man, then you're no longer lame because you accept who you are. What do I mean by that? If I'm comfortable in my skin and I go talk to this female, I don't give a shit that she thinks I'm lame or she doesn't think I fit her little mold of what she thinks I should be. And in doing that, I will exude confidence. I will exude sex to a woman when I come to her and I don't give a damn. And you know what that woman will say? It's something about him. I don't know what it is. It's just kind of sexy about it. Great example. Jay-Z ugly ass. Women say Jay-Z is sexy. I've heard women say he's sexy. What is it? He's ugly as hell. Jay-Z was sexy because Jay-Z has money and that money makes him confident. And he's confident in who he is. Jay will sit and talk. Another guy, Notorious B.I.G. I remember back in the 90s, I was in my 20s. When Big was out and Big was hot, there was a time, and Method Man actually said this. He said there was a time when women really did think he was sexy. It wasn't, this is no game. Like Lil' Kim is well documented. But if you look at him on paper, you say, well, this dude shouldn't get women. I mean, he's not the quintessential. But he said black and ugly as ever, however, I stayed Coogi, Gucci, whatever, down to the socks. Why did he do that? Because he was maximizing what he had. And he exuded confidence. And that's what it is. It has nothing to do with, you have to sell drugs or you have to. No, you don't. I'm going to tell you something crazy. There are a lot of educated brothers that get women. There are a lot of brothers with degrees that get women. It's not cut and dry. We on the internet, what's become popular is a lot of people they like to put people in bags and categories. You're either the thug or you're either the good brother, or I hate to say it, educated lame. That's a word that's a catchword right now, but that's the word I use, educated lame. You're either the thug or you're the lame. You're the guy that no woman wants, even though you're a good guy. If no woman wants your ass, you probably are lacking. It's no probably in it. You are lacking. If you live in a major city and you can't get a woman, you're probably lame. Simple and plain. You bring something to the equation. It could be something in your voice. It could be something in the way you look. It could be something, but you're missing something. And instead of fixing it, what a lot of brothers are saying now is, well, it's not my fault. It's the women's fault. It's not my fault. I'm fine. When I was younger, I'll admit this. When I was younger, I was socially awkward. I was insecure because when I was young, my mom, I didn't go to clubs. I didn't go out. I just stayed in the house. I would go to school. I would either play basketball. I would come home. I would get on the phone, talk to different girls. I was comfortable with women to a certain extent. So I wasn't a complete introvert, but I wasn't an extrovert either. I didn't go to that many school dances. I went to maybe 2 or 3 school dances my whole time when I was in school. We used to have them every Saturday. I never went. I didn't go to the clubs when I got older. I didn't go there. I didn't go out that much. Then I got into the church and I was more into the ministry. So I really wasn't going out to clubs that much. So I was getting around certain women. So I had to learn later in life. A lot of stuff I had to learn later, right? So what I'm saying is women a lot of times tend to be more so drawn to a guy who's comfortable in his skin and he's comfortable with who he is. If you're a nerd, own it. If you like Star Wars, own it. There are sexy women out here who like Star Wars too. There are sexy women out here who love Harry Potter. Okay? It's not, I know I've met some real nice women that love to read books, that love to read Harry Potter, that love to read, different books on history and culture. To sit and think that I'm so smart and intelligent that I can't have a conversation with any black woman today. It's just, you really need to get over yourself. You really do. You really do. You need to get over yourself. You think you more than what you are. I mean, let's just keep it 1,000. You really do. When you think you're more than what you are, you tend to lose out because women see that. Women see this dude thinks he's so smart and intelligent. He's always talking about how smart he is and what he knows and this and that. But he ain't done shit. That's the first thing they're going to say. He hasn't done shit. He worked for the white man. He doesn't own anything. He doesn't control anything. If you're going to brag about your intelligence, use it. Go and subdue the universe. Go and win something. Go subdue the earth. Own something. Control something. Have something you can point to. It's besides a damn degree. Besides a job, which everybody has. Everybody has a job. Everybody has degrees. It's not hard to find a black man with a job making $50,000. I know you think that, and I'm going to be honest with you. They say that's the cream of the crop, and it is to a certain extent. But the higher you go in beauty, the less that means something. There are certain women that, and I heard Tyler or Julian or Madison RSD, one of those guys was talking about this on one of their videos. They were saying that the higher you go in, when you go from like a 7 to an 8 to a 9 to a 10 to the type of women that just are just ridiculously beautiful, those women, what you have really doesn't impress them too tough because ever since they were 12, they've had men throwing them whatever they want in life. So your education is not going to get you what you think. I know that's what we've been told. You'll get your degree and you got guys in their 40s still bitter because they got their degree. They making $90,000, $100,000. They run their department in their company and they still not getting any love. And they're wondering why. You're not getting any love because they're not getting any love from the type of women that they want. Why is that? The reason they're not getting any love from the type of women that they want is because the type of women that they want aren't impressed with, and this is the thing, most of us brothers, if you want a woman that looks like Bria Miles or Kelly Rowland or Gabrielle Union, you're going to have to bring more to the table than just a college degree and a good paying job. I know you're going to have to, and I'm not saying that you can't get a good looking woman with a college degree and a good paying job, but what I'm saying is you're going to have to bring something, you're going to have to master yourself. And what do I mean by that? You're going to have to either go out in society and subdue the earth, which takes strength of character, strength of will, strength of mental toughness, or you're going to have to master yourself in that you have social skills that you've mastered. You're either going to have to bring something financial, or you're going to have to bring some game, or you're going to have to you're going to have to basically be able to display social value to that woman. You're going to have to be able to demonstrate some sort of wealth in value, either socially or financially. Or you're going to have to work out and you got to show something. Because even if you work out and get this ripped, chiseled ab body, that woman will say, this guy's disciplined. He shows some sort of character. It takes character to build a body. Working out to me is I also say is one of the most spiritual things you can do, because the level, knowing your body is almost, it's a very spiritual thing to it. It really is. I mean, you to be able to improve your body, because even, you know, you read the Bible, it talks about the race, and you know, I do this to my body and this and that. Why does it say that? Because it's something very challenging when to put yourself under a level of pain or endurance to achieve a certain goal. That's what you're doing every day when you go to the gym. You're putting your body under strenuous pain and effort to improve it. And so women respect that too. But you have to bring something to the table. So I'm sorry, it's a lot of brothers. I'm gonna be honest with you. When I was at school, I was at Tuskegee and I played basketball. I'll never forget, it was this guy. He was in the computer science department, right? Brilliant brother. And this is the end of this video. This brother was sharp. Like, we would be sitting there doing our little C++ code, and you know, Dr. Chen would give us a code. We'd have to turn it in a week, and we're talking maybe 1,000 to 2,000 lines of code in a week, which is not easy. We're talking starting from the first if statement all the way down, right? And when we would get finished, you know, it would take us probably Tuesday or maybe Monday if you work through the weekend, right? This dude would get his stuff on a Wednesday. He always gave out projects on a Wednesday. His ass would be through by Friday. I mean, this guy was brilliant, right? He had a 4.0 GPA. But one thing about this brother that I thought, I forgot his name, so I'm just going to say Joe, whatever, just for ease of name, remember. One thing about Joe didn't, he was very quiet. He was very quiet, reserved. And I'm not saying you have to be out there, but he was very quiet and reserved, very soft-spoken. When he spoke like this, real low, real soft-spoken brother, right? Very quiet. And there was this other chick in the class. I think her name was, I forget, but I'm gonna just say Adrian, right? Adrian was real pretty, man, light skinned, which I don't even like light skinned women, but this sister had it going on, right? Nice body, real friendly. And so he liked her, right? He would sit there, he'll tell me, because I sat right next to him. We got cool. He would tell me he liked the girl and stuff. And so I said, yeah, I like her too. She hot. You know, we both like the girl. So long story short, you know, we got, you know, we had to do a project and we all worked together, and she wound up being in our group. And he said he liked the girl, but he got in the group and he was so quiet and didn't say anything. She would just walk all over him. Like, he would make a suggestion. No, that's not what we're going to. And he wouldn't say a damn thing. He wouldn't speak up for himself. He was so reserved and laid back. And, you know, I would go back and forth with her and tell her, no, I don't think we're going to do this. Is why this. And he probably could have did the whole damn project in a couple of days by himself if he wanted to. He was that damn smart. So, and she was, I ain't gonna lie, at Tuskegee, you had a lot of smart people. I probably was one of the least intelligent people in that damn department, man. I'm talking about. And when I went and transferred to another school to finish my last year, I finished my degree at Trust State Montgomery. When I transferred in, I was damn near teaching the class, and I wasn't even a good student. That's how smart those people were at Tuskegee. They were brilliant. And so he wanted this girl, and he would always talk about her and stuff like that. And I'm making a point. The point I'm trying to make is this. He didn't have the guts to go out. Not only did he not have the guts to go out and go get what he wanted, but he didn't also have anything that would make her want to talk to him. He was bored. You know. How did I know? Because I talked to her. I wound up dating the girl for a while. We dated for a couple of months. And you know, and she would just ask me about different things in the lab. And she just told me one day, she said, you know, Joe is quiet, so he's not a bad looking guy. He just seems kind of boring. You know, he just doesn't seem to be the type of guy that a woman would want to. I mean, a woman would probably either run all over him, or she would either, you know, even if she did get with him, he just doesn't seem to be confident. And she even told me that a man like that doesn't seem like he knows what he's doing in the bedroom. this thing goes deep, man. So just check it out. Think about it. Look at yourself. Take a self-examination. And let's not just keep pointing the finger at others. I want to add this little footnote. Yesterday I did a hangout, Google Hangout with brother Black Men Taking Our Community Back and Mr. Black. But anyway, he, you know, we were talking and things like that. And I said some things in defense of black women. And I also said some things to hold black women accountable as far as the types of men they choose. I did say that. I did say that black women, you know, need to stop choosing, you know, smooth talkers and brothers that are out here just trying to have, you know, brothers that can talk, but they're not really about the life that they're putting on. And I'm still called a simp. And then let me say this. The internet has proven to me that it is full of a lot of people that are not all there. They're not, they're lame. You know, I was going to call this Maybe You Are Lame. And it fits for a lot of different brothers. A lot of brothers are angry. They're on the internet as an outlet because they cannot get the women. They were always shut out of the key social circles. And so now they're using this as an opportunity to get out here and go at all the black women and these black women this and these black women that. And you can just hear these brothers. They're very angry, very frustrated, sexually frustrated. They're not getting to have sex with the women that they want. And so they're angry. And any brother that sees things different is somehow shouted down as a simp. I'm going to say this. Come up with an original argument. Can you do that? Can you do that? Okay? Come up with an original argument. Stop. Every time a brother says something, the first thing they say is, well, you're defending black female fuckery. Like, can you learn a new word? Stop biting Obsidian. Stop biting Angry Man. Stop biting Mr. Jap. Get your own damn thoughts. Have your own original thought. Are you capable of one original thought? Most of this shit I'm hearing from these brothers in the comments is not original. It's regurgitated shit from somebody else. Damn. Every time I turn around, I got to see y'all bitching and say, you defending black female fuckery. Like, damn, type that into YouTube. I guarantee you, you'll have a million videos come up of all the black YouTubers that say that same shit. Find another word. Can you do that first before you try to prove a point? And another thing, when you, and we're men, we're supposed to deal in facts, not emotions. You know, we're supposed to be matter-of-fact individuals. I'm going to say this. Stop trying to come at people with these regurgitated arguments that you got, these talking points that you got off some other YouTuber, BGS Ipmore, and all these different guys. And you guys repeat this shit verbatim. And now it's just supposed to be gospel fact. Every black woman only chooses a thug because he's in a financial position where she needs him. That makes you feel good. Well, he's not as strong as me. Because, see, that makes you feel good about yourself. See, because that's just like the homosexuals when they say so-and-so is a homophobe. You fear me. Because, see, you putting yourself in a position of power and you're saying that so-and-so fears me, so-and-so is beneath me. Instead of you just looking at yourself and examining yourself, you got to point the finger at someone else. So she's afraid of me. She's intimidated by me because I have a certain amount of wealth, or I have, and a lot of these niggas ain't done shit but talk. A lot of them ain't. Off the top, look, off the top, most of these brothers ain't doing nothing but talk. That's all they're doing is talking about what they have, or making themselves up to be so successful. That's why I don't know if woman wants you. That's why you lonely. That's why you sitting at home jacking off and getting on YouTube bitching about black women, because you lonely as hell. If you let me tell you something, brothers that's smooth, that's out here getting women, they ain't on the internet bitching. Please believe that. That's the thing. Now, see, I'm gonna tell you what happened. A lot of these brothers will come back. Well, I get women. Yeah, you get women that you really don't want. You get women like that first sister I showed in the beginning of this video. Those are the type of women that you get. If you get the type of women that you want, you would not be so damn angry. You would not be so damn repetitive of other people's logic. It never crosses their minds to say, you know what? Damn, I sound just like so and so, so and so. I got into it with a guy, and he repeated another YouTuber's bullet points verbatim. Like, damn, have your original thought. Have some original thoughts. Have some sort of your own viewpoint. Be original. Damn. Quit trying to repeat what another man says and have your own ideology. Shit. You that damn weak that you can't even formulate your own thoughts. That's why you can't get a woman. Damn. And one more point this brother made that I thought was real rudimentary was that you're saying that the men have to do something, but you're not acknowledging that the women have to do anything. Let me say this right here. I'm going to tell you, this is clear. If you have a beautiful black woman, she's beautiful. She got a nice body. She's in shape. She's got, not even if she's in shape, she just has a nice figure, attractive. Her shit is done, man. She doesn't, I know this may be coming as a surprise to a lot of these guys, but I'm going to say this. These women don't have to do shit. They get shit thrown at them from the time they're 12 years old to the time they're 60, man. Not 60, but maybe 40, 30, at least 30. So for the prime years of their life, where they're in their most peak physical condition, they don't have to do anything. They're just beautiful. So beautiful women, the type of women that you want, because let's be honest, a woman that's a 5, you don't really have to do too much. You don't really have to change. Just about any brother can get a 5. Okay? You don't have to do much. You don't have to bring much to the table. But if you want an 8 or higher, she's got other men coming at her. It's called economics of dating. It's called the marketplace. So in a marketplace, the woman has already what she doesn't need to bring. She doesn't need to do anything. She's going to get men coming at her. Now, are there grades to women? Yeah, you could be a dime physically, but you're a hood rat, which takes you down some notches. And so you're not really a 9 or 8 or 9. You might be a 3 or 4, depending if you're a stripper, you're a 4, off the top. So I don't care what you look like. So when I'm talking about a true one, a quality sister that may have physical beauty, she's not a slut, she's not in the strip club, she's not doing certain things. If a woman's a slut, then hell, any man can get a slut. I would assume you could get a slut. All you gotta do is just throw some money at her. So off the top, I'm talking about a real 8 or 9, women that are physically appealing, that are not sluts, that have jobs, degrees, educated, whatever you want. Those type of women don't struggle for men. They got a line of men around the corner. This is the key. If you live in America, the answer is this. The world is not going to give you anything. The world waits for no one. Okay? No, like Brandon Carter said, nobody cares about your fucking excuses. The world is not going to give you something. You're going to have to take it. If you're a man, you're going to have to take it. I know that doesn't sound good. I know a lot of you guys, well, what do the women have to do? It's not fair. That all they got to do is just sit there and bend. Yeah, a lot of pretty beautiful women don't have to do much. They don't. I agree. It's not fair, but that's life. What are you going to do? It's not going to change. Look at Evelyn Lozada. Let's look at Evelyn Lozada. And I will admit, Evelyn Lozada is a pretty hood rat. But Evelyn Lozada has skills as well. She brings a lot. She has a mouthpiece. You got to give it to the sister. Antoine Walker, Chad Ochocinco. Now she married to some baseball player. She done popped this baby out. Think about it. She wealthy. She's set. She's set. Why? Because she's good looking. That was 90% of it. She's very good looking, and she has a mouth. She has skill. A lot of these sisters from the age 8 to 12, from 12 years old on up, guys are in their face constantly all day, every day. You don't have to do anything as a black woman. If you look like anything, you're going to develop social skills because it's going to be a guy in your face all day, every day. You know how much practice that is? So by the time a woman is 25 with a fat ass and a pretty face, she's very much more sophisticated than these lame brothers who are afraid to approach a woman, and they approach 2 women a year. So let's miss me with this. They don't have to do anything. Miss me with that.